Hey people, I want to talk about interracial dating. Ooh, I love it. And let me tell you why. It's like a buffet. You know, you want a fat girl, you want a thin girl. You want a girl with short spiky hair. You want a girl with long black hair. You want an Asian girl. You want a black girl. You want a Latina girl. And that's normal. But I saw a couple of videos and it was mostly black guys talking about dating white women. And I have 7 extra senses to evaluate people, and I saw that these guys were very insecure. Now it seems to me that a lot of black guys who are dating interracially are doing so because they have low self-esteem. Maybe they feel embarrassed to be black. Maybe just as a person they feel insecure. And they think that by dating a white woman they can leech off the success of white people in the United States, or they can feel like they're dominating another race, because if you're fucking a girl, especially doggy style, hey, you're the king, right? So if that woman is white girl and she's totally dependent on your cock and your movements, you feel like you're dominating a race. And I suspect that those guys are insecure. But you know, if you have problems on the inside, it's wrong to use people to get rid of your problems. It doesn't really work. At the end of the day, you're still stuck with the same low self-esteem. And how many girls are you gonna fuck until you feel better? And where's the limit? So that's why you have a lot of black people who develop a fetish and they become addicted to sex, maybe. And they start referring to women as hoes and bitches. And that's fine, okay? People are people. And I can't expect everybody to be like me, because I'm not racist. I date interracially only because I see it as variety. Okay? I don't use women to feel better about myself. In fact, I think most women just kind of use me to feel better about themselves, and that's nice. Now, I live in Asia, so of course 2 out of 100 girls that I would meet are Caucasian or Latina or something else. But so of course most of the girls that I fuck are Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese. But if I lived in Zimbabwe or Botswana, God forbid, of course I would be fucking a lot of black girls, but I would be wearing 3 condoms on top of each other. And you should too. And of course when I lived in Europe, I had lots of girls, mostly of course Spanish girls, but also Swedish girls that come down for a vacation. And it's about variety. I just believe that when in Rome, you must fuck Roman girls. I mean, girls are girls. So I hear a lot of guys talk about Asian women, okay? And I can understand that. A lot of Asian girls are very cute, or they're very pretty or sexy. They can be very alluring. And some girls from Asia, as you can tell, it looks like they're just made for fucking. You know what I mean? But you know, you have guys in an area where there's almost no Asian girls, and the only Asian girls they would see is like a Filipino working in a 7-Eleven or a Filipino working as a maid, and they end up looking at these horrible creatures and saying, wow, she's so sexy. But of course they're ill, okay? Because these girls look like monkeys, and I guess if you're hard up, you start becoming blind. And so of course it's very sad to live like that. Just like I'm in Asia, if I had a fetish or a preference only for white women with blonde hair, which would be normal if I was there in Europe, maybe most girls that I know were always blonde and, you know, Caucasian. And so of course as a Caucasian in Asia, I will only see a Caucasian girl once in a while. And usually they're married, or they already have a boyfriend, or they're fat like a pig, no, like a cow, or like an elephant. And of course I will not go for that. But so imagine I do have that preference. I would never get laid. My life would be very unhappy. I would be surfing porn all the time, going to the blonde category or whatever. And that's why those guys that really like Asian girls, but they live in a place where there's no Asian girls, I really think they're sick in the head. I mean, you want Asian girls? You like only Asian girls? Move to Asia. That's where Asian girls are. Duh. And anyway, I've had Asian girls that were Asian American, or even some Spanish Vietnamese girls, and it's not the same. So of course, if you go to their home and they're still wearing flip-flops and eating egg rolls, I don't know what, but basically they have taken on a new culture, and they speak Spanish, or they speak English, or they have an accent in England, and they sound just like British people because they are British. So they don't have that culture anymore, and there's a big difference. When I was in Vietnam, I met women, and they're so soft, and they have this ritual, like if you date a girl, you will bring a little something, like something cheap, but something that says, I'm dating you, or something. And they're so innocent and romantic about everything. It's really like the olden times. What can I say? Like, you will serenade a girl, under her balcony or something. Well, they still have that here in Asia. And I noticed that Asian girls are very sweet in that way, and it's not just about sex, but I like to be with women because it's going across cultures. But when I see some black guys talking about dating white women, they're talking about other American women. So basically, there's no real culture difference there. Of course, there is some, but you're talking about a racist attitude, okay? Now, it is called interracial dating, but I don't think it's really important unless there's also a culture difference. Like, I don't even see Asian girls as a different race anymore, because I've had so many Asian girls from all Asian countries, and I just see them as women, just like I will see white blonde women as women. Women are women. But I know that guys that aren't used to that will really look in terms of race, but I see it in terms of race and culture. Now, there's nothing better than to date interracially and you have another culture to deal with. It's like the buffet I was talking about, a variety. If it was only about the color of the skin, what's the kick in that? So this girl has whiter skin, big fucking deal. And Asian girls, they usually have whiter skin than me or many other Caucasians, or some black girls are really light. You don't even know the difference anymore sometimes. And okay, it's like, if I want to date a black girl and she's really like one of those Africans with those features from, I don't know, 10,000 BC, then I would feel, yes, I'm really dating another race. But if I go to the United States and I end up with a very young 20-year-old Whitney Houston, then I feel like I'm fucking an American girl. It doesn't matter if she's black or not. But for these people, it really matters. Ooh, I'm dating a white girl, so I feel better about myself. And you have a lot of guys that want to date Asian girls because they think, hey, Asian girls have a tight pussy. So with my little cock, I can feel like I'm a quarterback in the NFL. But women are women. Not all girls have a tight pussy. You have a short girl, and many Asian girls tend to be petite or very short. Of course, they have smaller pussies. They have smaller feet, smaller hands. Duh. It's about proportion. So I've had many girls in Europe, even in Spain, that were short. They were petite. Of course, they have a tight pussy. You don't have to be Asian to have a tight pussy. But they have that fetish. So they have a stereotype. And it's racial. And that's why if you're not living in the country and you have a racial preference, it just means that there's something wrong with you. Like, do you think if I lived in Nigeria or in Peru, God forbid, that I would have a fetish for Asian girls? Of course not. And if I lived in those countries and I would have a YouTube channel, you wouldn't see even one Asian girl picture. Okay, maybe I would post up some Venezuelan girls or what have you. Okay, so those were my 2 cents about interracial dating. If you have any thoughts on interracial dating, please let me know.